Welcome to Sissygram Spicy Story channel. If you like my voice, then hit the like button and do subscribe our channel for regular updates. Today I come up with whole new content of story. So, now let's start the story. I had always seen Alex as a manly man, tough and rugged, someone who would never entertain the idea of something like a spa day or show any interest in my makeup. He was far from anything remotely feminine, and I liked him that way. However, last night, while browsing online, I came across a video that sparked a new idea in my mind. It was about a wife who had managed to convince her husband to dress up as a woman. She had done his hair, makeup, and picked out a beautiful outfit, and the result was unexpectedly stunning. That got me thinking, what if I could do something like that with Alex? Though Alex seemed the complete opposite of the delicate transformation I'd seen, deep down, I'd always been curious to see a softer, more elegant side of him. It wasn't just for fun, though that part excited me. It was also a secret wish to see a side of him neither of us had ever explored. One evening, Alex was lounging on the couch, absorbed in his phone, completely unaware of the fantasy brewing in my mind. My heart raced as I approached him, holding a pair of my soft, sheer pantyhose in my hand. I casually said, "Hey babe," my voice carrying a hint of mischief. He looked up, eyebrows raised in confusion as he noticed what I was holding. "What's that for?" he asked, his curiosity piqued. I smiled, sitting next to him and letting my excitement show. "Oh, was thinking maybe you'd try these on for me." His eyes widened in surprise, mixed with amusement. "Try on your pantyhose?" he laughed, clearly thinking it was a joke. "Yes," I answered, keeping my tone playful yet firm, holding his gaze just once for me. He shook his head, still laughing, but his nervousness was starting to show. "Come on, honey, that's not really my thing." I leaned in slightly, giving him a nudge. "Please, humor me just this once. Think of it like an experiment." He looked from the pantyhose to me, trying to gauge how serious I was. "You're not joking, are you?" he asked, a hint of nervousness in his voice. "Nope," I replied, my eyes sparkling with mischief. "Trust me, Alex, you'll look amazing." There was a moment of hesitation, but finally, with a resigned sigh, he agreed. "Fine, just this once, but you owe me after this," he smirked, as if he still couldn't believe he was going along with it. My heart fluttered as he reluctantly took the pantyhose from me, eyeing them like they were some strange alien object. Slowly, he slid one foot in, cautiously inching the fabric up his leg. I could see the disbelief in his face. He was torn between awkwardness and curiosity. My excitement grew as he continued, pulling the pantyhose higher, and my breath caught as I saw him, this rugged man now encased in delicate, sheer fabric. "Oh my God, they actually look good on you," I whispered, almost to myself. He glanced down at his legs, a mixture of embarrassment and wonder crossing his face. "You're really enjoying this, aren't you?" he muttered. "More than you know," I said, barely able to contain my excitement. But I wasn't done yet. The pantyhose were just the beginning. "Wait, right here," I told him, hopping up and returning a few moments later with a wig, a box of makeup, and one of my favorite dresses. It was fitted, a little daring, and perfect for the occasion. His eyes widened as he glanced from the items in my hands to my eager face. "Oh no, absolutely not," he protested, shaking his head firmly. "Come on, Alex, you're halfway there," I coaxed, setting the wig down and grabbing my makeup brushes. "Just imagine how fun this will be. Besides, aren't you a little curious?" he groaned, a mix of exasperation and reluctant curiosity on his face. "I don't know." I moved closer, looking him straight in the eye. "Trust me, you'll look amazing. Just let me try, and if you hate it, I'll stop." He let out a long sigh, his resistance finally breaking as he nodded, clearly giving in. Fine, but only because you're asking. With a thrilled smile, I guided him into a chair, tilting his chin up gently so I could work my magic. I began with a light foundation, dabbing it across his face and blending it smoothly into his skin. He sat still, his curious gaze watching me as I worked, probably still unsure how he ended up in this situation. As I continued, I noticed how his features softened under the makeup, the sharpness of his jawline fading as I added a touch of contour. Close your eyes, I instructed, as I brushed a shimmery shadow over his eyelids. I lined his lashes just enough to make them pop, and then picked up my favorite pink lip gloss, gently applying it to his lips. To my surprise, the color complemented his skin beautifully. He looked at me, his eyes wide with uncertainty, but also curiosity. This is different, he murmured. Wait, it's not done yet, I replied, picking up the wig. IT was shoulder length with soft waves, and I carefully placed it on his head, tucking his hair underneath. When I stepped back, I couldn't believe my eyes. Alex was no longer just my manly boyfriend. He was now a vision of beauty, a stunning transformation. He stared at himself in the mirror, his mouth slightly open, unable to hide his shock. I don't even recognize myself, he whispered, touching his face in awe. I grinned and leaned in, whispering, that's the idea. You're not Alex right now. You're Anna. He laughed nervously, a hint of amusement creeping into his voice. Anna, really? Yes, it suits you perfectly, I teased, giving him a playful nod. You look stunning. I look beautiful, he said, the realization dawning on him. I watched as his expression slowly shifted, that initial disbelief turning into something softer. IT was like a weight had been lifted, and for the first time, I saw him embrace this new version of himself. Well, Anna, I teased, tilting my head. You've got the dress, makeup, and wig. Why not embrace it and have some fun? He chuckled, finally letting go of his initial resistance. All right, what's next? I practically burst with excitement, heading over to my closet to find a pair of my favorite black heels. I handed them to him, watching as his eyes widened. You're really going all out, aren't you? Come on, Anna, I coaxed. You can't complete the look without a bit of height. At first, he stumbled as he slipped his feet into the shoes, but after a few moments of wobbling, he found his balance. Wow, this is harder than it looks, he admitted, his cheeks flushing, but the smile on his face told a different story. As he grew more comfortable, his confidence increased. The way he stood taller, straighter, and walked with a newfound grace was astonishing. Look at you, Anna, I cheered. You've got it. He glanced at himself in the mirror, clearly admiring the way the pantyhose made his legs look longer and sleeker. He looked back at me, and I could see the shift in his gaze. He was starting to enjoy this new version of himself. I never imagined myself like this, he said softly, his voice filled with wonder. It's strange, but I actually kind of like it. My heart fluttered hearing those words. He was enjoying this transformation far more than either of us expected, and it made me want to take things even further. That's the spirit, Anna, I cheered, nudging him gently. We're going all out. A few accessories are in order. I pulled out a delicate silver necklace, fastening it around his neck before adding a few rings to his fingers. Every little detail seemed to transform him further, softening his stance and bringing out a side of him I hadn't seen before. He raised his hand to admire the rings, his fingers looking surprisingly graceful. Wow, he whispered, a glimmer of delight in his eyes. Then I reached for a bottle of perfume, spritzing a light mist around him. The sweet floral scent filled the air, and as he breathed it in, I saw a subtle change in his demeanor. This feels really different, he said softly, his voice warm and full of wonder. Like someone else. I smiled, proud of how far I had come. Exactly, you're Anna now. He gave me a half smile, taking my hand as I led him to the full-length mirror. He gasped as he took in his entire reflection, almost as if seeing himself for the first time. "This is unreal," he whispered, running his fingers over his dress and admiring the fabric. "I can't believe this is me." "That's because you've never let this side of you out before," I said, my voice filled with pride. "And look how incredible you are," he laughed, genuinely letting go of all the reservations I'd had. I never knew I could look like this, feel like this. It was like stepping into another world. I could see the shift in him, the way he held himself, lighter and more open. Gone was the Alex who balked at anything remotely feminine. I saw a new side of him, one that was as captivating as it was unexpected. I couldn't resist teasing him. "Remember when you wouldn't even go for a pedicure with me? Now look at you, Anna, the glamour queen." He laughed with me, his voice full of warmth. "Maybe I'd even go to a spa with you now, get the full treatment." I burst out laughing, tapping his shoulder. "I am holding you to that, Anna. Facials, manicures, massages, the works. I want the world to see this fabulous side of you." He mock glared at me, though I could tell he was already sold on the idea. All right, but don't think I am doing this every week." I grinned, savoring the victory. "Deal, but who knows, maybe Anna will be back sooner than you think." This is where the story wraps up. Share your thoughts in the comments below. For more stories like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you soon. See you next time.